What's up, YouTube? Today is day one of the $100,000 account challenge. Now, my account balance started with $3,250 in it, and today did not go as expected. I lost about $250, so the account balance is down to about $3,000 because of these trades that I'm going to talk about today. So let's go ahead and jump into those trades, and then we're going to talk about the best trade setups in the market to take for the rest of the week. Let's go ahead and get into it. First, with the S&P 500, I went long for a couple of reasons. So we've got this put wall here at 755, and on the gamma exposure tool that I'm using, it says here that we are likely to have a bullish squeeze. And because of that, I knew that if we got some bullish momentum here, the S&P 500 is likely going to squeeze higher for the rest of the day. And so with that information in mind, I was looking for long setups. And we bounced pretty nicely off of this 755 put wall. We got a nice long wick followed by a bullish engulfing candle, which is a great sign. So then as the market started to come down, I was looking for a good entry to then go long, and I felt like I had that on this 815 candle. We again had a long wick, and then the candle closed green. I really liked that. It's about at the same level here as we bounced off of before, so I went ahead and went long here. Pretty quickly, this trade went against me, and this is where I messed up. When trades do not go in my favor, that is when my trade management really suffers. I should have taken my loss maybe at the low here or just at the 755 level, but I did not do that. I instead averaged down my loser and did not stop out. And then I let this trade run all the way until it was worthless. So I lost the whole $250 on this trade, which I am not happy about, but I am happy about my patience and about my entry. I don't think my entry here was the problem. I think moving my stop loss was the problem. I think that this was a good trade idea, and I think we had enough confirmation from the price action to justify going long, but let me know in the comments if you disagree with that. Now, my other trade that I took was Tesla. On this trade here, we came down to sort of a key level at about 419. You can see that we've bounced a couple of times at about 419, and then again this morning we bounced at about that level, and then here this morning, or this afternoon rather, we again got some good signs here. We got sort of an indecision candle followed by a really strong bullish engulfing candle, and I even could have waited for the MACD to turn green before entering. And so really my trade entry, I think, would have been justified here or even as early as right here, where I could have entered and captured a quick 2-to-1. However, I got a late entry on this, and the trade ran up to a 1-to-1 where I then went break even. And when my trades are going in my favor, I seem to be able to manage them a lot better than when they're going against me. So this trade, I'm happy because I managed it pretty well. I moved my stop loss to break even to then let this trade run and see where it goes. And then I obviously got stopped out at break even here. So this trade was up about $60 to $70 at one point, and then came all the way back down and tagged me out. So I'm pretty happy with this trading day because I only took 2 trades. Overtrading is a problem that I'm going up against, so only taking 2 trades is something that I'm happy with for today. However, I averaged down way too much on the S&P 500. My loss should have been cut quicker, and my loss should have been smaller, but when my trades are losing, that's when my trade management really goes against me. Now, let's talk about trade setups for the rest of the week. So on the S&P 500, in the after hours, the market is freaking out a little bit because of Iran and the war and potentially not having the deal get made like the market was expecting. So the market's tanking. I was originally thinking of going long at about the 752 level here, but it looks like the best level tomorrow, if the market continues to tank, could be going long at about this 748.50 level. I think buyers have been waiting on the sidelines on this rally to buy the dip at some point, and I think this level here matches along with market structure pretty well for a potential long opportunity. So this is probably one of my favorite trades going into the rest of the week. Then pretty similar thing here on QQQ, not going to talk about it quite as much, but potential long opportunities, not really watching QQQ as closely. Then look at Apple. Look at the after hours here. It's moving up pretty nicely compared to the S&P 500 or the QQQ. So Apple is definitely relatively strong, and it's been making new all-time highs. So I think there is definitely a long opportunity if we come down to this 309 level. It could also sort of be like an inverted head and shoulders here. So if we break out above the all-time high, then this could also be a valid entry up here. Another trade idea here is Nvidia. I like this because here's how I'm interpreting the chart. So we've got earnings here, and everyone is expecting them to be excellent. So everyone bought in before earnings happened, and then as earnings happened, they all bought the rumor and sold the news. So they sold off during earnings and after earnings. And now the market is starting to pick up again because obviously the earnings were excellent. So I'm thinking that logically with that happening, I would think that Nvidia wants to go higher, but it's all about picking the right level and then seeing the lower time frame confirmations that would align with that bullish thesis. So I'm looking for longs here at 1850 and at each of these blue lines, so at 214, 211, and then 208. Those are going to be potential opportunities if the lower time frames align. Then on Google, I like Google a little bit less because of just how strong the sell-off has been. We're having thin structure retracement through these zones here, so it's falling like a rock for right now. I think the next levels to potentially watch are going to be about 350 and about 343.50. Those are areas where longer term buyers are likely going to be stepping in again. Then Amazon is pretty similar to Google. It's been absolutely falling like a rock. And I think the next level that I would personally be interested in is at around the 245 level. So those are the main trades that I'm going to watch going into the rest of the week. Let's look at the rest of the market though. So Microsoft is back into this like choppy range here. If we break out above the 331, 332, 431, 432 level, then I'll be looking to go long from there as well. Then Meta, also very similar to Microsoft, back in this choppy range. It's had some good price action today, but it's a little bit of a mixed bag here. Not really interested in going long unless we break back above the 640 level. Then Tesla, probably not the best to trade, as you can tell from my break-even trade. It's a little bit mixed here. We're in this bullish pennant, but it seems like it just can't quite decide what it wants to do. So if we break out above this bullish pennant trend line, then there's a potential long opportunity. But until then, we should probably just be sitting on our hands when it comes to Tesla stock. So that is how day one went of the $100,000 trading challenge. My account balance has gone from $3,250 down to about $3,000. So with that being said, hopefully tomorrow is going to be a better day. Click subscribe so you don't miss out. We're going to turn this into $100,000 by the end of the year. So I want you to follow along. Click subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.